I got the old number 7 Jesus Christ jersey representing my boy JC. He's not my boy. I just think it's funny to wear this to like football outings and whatnot. But anyway, I also have a clipboard here. What do I have on the clipboard? I have the list of the teams that are going to be making the 2014 NFL season playoffs, as well as who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to give you my predictions, much like I did last year. And as we know, last year I came tremendously well off with all my picks, pretty much. But anyways, well, I didn't do that bad, but I really didn't bank on the right horse. That's for damn sure. Sorry, Seattle. Anyway, a lot of you guys are going to disagree with this. A lot of you guys are going to agree with this. But as always, if it comforts you and you have a problem with this list, just know last year that I was, completely wrong with who ended up ultimately winning. But this is going to be a year where I see a lot of the same, because I don't think a lot of teams stepped up to be a playoff caliber team. So you're going to see a lot of the same teams in the playoffs, but we'll get to all that in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and cut through these. I already gave you a 30-plus minute football video today talking about my Philadelphia Eagles. But where are the Eagles going to go? Are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? Are they going to win a Super Bowl? Am I faking that reaction? Let's find out. All right. I'm going to go over division winners and then who I think are going to make the wild cards in both the NFC and AFC, and then we'll let the discussion begin as to how insane I am for excluding your team, or how happy I am for including your team. NFC East. I'll just cut that right out of the gate here, or get that out of the way. The Eagles are going to win. I don't see anyone else in the division really being a top-tier competitor to the Eagles right now. If RG3 had a better quarterback IQ and wasn't trying to make highlight film clips in the preseason, and just try not to be Mr. I gotta do every fucking thing possible and understand that my health is the ultimate thing that is going to get us through this season as a top-tier club. Well, that aside, I don't see the Giants pressuring them. Cowboys. I gotta stop fucking jinxing that shit because they're gonna win the division if I keep jinxing that shit. Anyway. Look for the Eagles to come out on top of the NFC East. AFC East, geez, what a surprise. The Patriots are going to win another division title. Not much to say there. I mean, there's just no one else that is even on their level of competition there right now. The Jets, they don't even know what quarterback they want coming or going. The Bills, E.J. Manuel, promising young career. And the Dolphins, who cares? I'm gonna switch over to the AFC first here for the divisions. AFC West, who's going to be winning that division? Well, the Broncos are, duh. NFC West, who's going to be winning that division? I'm sorry, Seahawks fans, but these new rules and the way the refs are calling penalties are going to hurt you. You're not, like I said in my Eagles prediction video, you're not allowed to sneeze in the direction of a receiver right now. That is a very bump and run, well, not bump and run for offense, but it's kind of like a bump and run type defense. I see them getting just flagrantly penalized. I know Seahawks fans hate it when I criticize their team. They feel I don't give their team enough credit. But you're still winning the NFC West. Let's be realistic. The Seahawks are going to win the NFC West. I had you scared there for a second, didn't I? AFC North. The Cincinnati Bengals. Signed their little gingerbread man quarterback to a just humongous contract extension. I think that team's shored up enough on defense to come out on top of anyone else in that division. The Steelers, I just see them as that aged has-been team right now. I don't see Ben Roethlisberger having another good year, much like I don't see Eli Manning having another good year on his career. Well, not that Eli ever really had a good year. He's been a turnover machine, but he shows up in the playoffs and he's got 2 rings and 2 NFL MVP for the Super Bowl, so shut the fuck up. Alright, I'll be quiet. Anyways, the Bengals are I mean, Flacco, Baltimore, yes, it's nice. Ray Rice, go Tiger uppercut your wife some more. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, and did you hear that Michael Sam was cut today? Well, get ready, because you're going to hear about that for the next 100 days. Players get cut in the preseason. It happens. He wasn't good enough to make the team. BOO, move on. That aside, covers the Michael Sam portion of the show. NFC North, I got the Packers winning again. Because I tell you what, you don't bet against the best quarterback running back tandem in the league. And that's someone, you know, with his favorite team having Shady McCoy. Lacy and Rodgers are the best quarterback running back tandem. Now, do I think Lacy's a better quarterback than LaShawn McCoy? Running back than LaShawn McCoy? Absolutely not. But the combined talent level of both Lacy and Rodgers, that's the best in the league. I'm sorry. That might offend people, might piss people off, but I'm sorry. That's the best quarterback running back tandem in the league. AFC South, I have the Colts winning. No real surprise there. That's a division that's kind of weak, but will they have a wild card spot coming out of the NFC South, AFC South? Find out in a second. NFC South. This is the division where I could see 3 teams making the playoffs out of this division, and I could see just 1 team making the playoffs in this division. It's that tight. Because I'm saying to myself, boy, Atlanta is not as bad as that team they were last year. There's no fucking way they're going to come out and shit the bed to the level they did last year. Tampa, significant upgrades in receiver. My God, the average height of their receivers is 6'27". They got Josh McCown as quarterback, a.k.a. Schmitty McGee, for you longtime football viewers here, of my football videos. Chad Henne, not Chad Henne, Jesus Christ. Chad Henne's playing for Jacksonville. The Bucks, I see them as a formidable foe this year, even though they got a passed around backup quarterback starting this year. But oh my God, I don't see them as being the team that's going to finish on top. I don't see Atlanta being anywhere near as bad as they were last year. Carolina, yes, you lost all your receivers, but man, you got some fucking playmakers on defense. That defense is fucking killer in Carolina. However, the Saints are winning the division. The Saints are winning. So, who do I have coming out as the 2 wild cards for each conference? Well, much like last year in the AFC, I have the Chargers coming out. Now, we're getting into a dilemma here where all the teams are the same from last year. All the playoff teams are the same from last year. There's not a single different team. I think the Chargers are really going to be the only competitive team in the AFC West besides the Broncos, and they're going to squeak in with a playoff spot just like they did last year and go in as a wild card. Now, I absolutely refuse to believe that the playoff picture is going to be the same as last year. Now, that wasn't the deciding factor because, frankly, that aside, I wouldn't have the Chiefs going into the playoffs ahead of that because they're going to have a first-place schedule that is going to shred that fucking team. If there's one team that benefited from a soft schedule, one of them would be the Eagles, but the other one that is most hands down just the most egregious example of this is the Kansas City Chiefs. They are going to get a real big boy schedule. And frankly, last year, they struggled against playoff teams. They couldn't beat Denver. I think they beat the Chargers once, if I'm not mistaken, or they might have lost to them twice. Anyways, they beat soft buttercup teams. Yeah, they beat the Eagles, but that was when Chip Kelly and Mike Vick were still trying to find their way, and the Eagles really weren't clicking as an offense yet. That was early on the season. That was like week 3. But no real impressive wins for the Chiefs last year. None. None whatsoever. An epic collapse against the Colts in the wild card round of the playoffs. Just that team is going nowhere. And they're not going to the playoffs. So, I'm going to pick just a wild card of all wild cards just to make things interesting here. And just to flip things up. My really super duper deluxe off the wall wild card pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, I know Chad Henne is their fucking quarterback. I see him getting replaced by Bortles somewhere by week 3 or 4, and I think Bortles is the real deal. I like what I saw of him out of preseason. Yeah, Blackman's not on the... I think Jack Blackman's suspended or cut. I forget what the hell. He's right up there with Josh Gordon for the biggest knucklehead wide receivers in the league. But I just see that team as just thinking, like, you know, we're done being the fucking sucking douchebag of the league. We're going to step up. They're going to play with heart. And they're going to bust out a playoff spot. They're going to go into the wild card round and represent that hardcore football town known as Jacksonville. So, there you go. That's your 2 AFC wildcard teams. Your 2 NFC wildcard teams are... This team is looking soft as shit in the preseason right now. But the 49ers. I know Alden Smith is going to miss, I think, was it the first 8-9 weeks of the season? Because he likes to make bomb jokes in the airport. Anyway. And the 49ers, like I said, have looked like complete shit in the preseason. If preseason results carried over into the regular season, the 49ers are going to average like 9 points and maybe win 2 games this year. But that's the thing. This team starts off slow. They started off slow last year, and they really started picking up steam, going into the final weeks, beating Seattle, beating Green Bay in the playoffs, and then ultimately barely losing to the Seahawks in the NFC Championship. Anyway, I see them still as a real deal team. There's no real reason to think that they're not going to represent in the playoffs again. Look for Kaepernick to be the Kaepernick that we're used to seeing. But again, look at this team to start off slow, and hopefully they start off very slow because the Eagles have to play them early on in the year. So, fingers crossed. And I got a kind of off-the-wall pick for the last NFC wildcard spot as well, because I can't see the same exact teams making the playoffs. In fact, I think, you know, you're going to see 2 or 3 teams that didn't make the playoffs last year make the playoffs this year. So that being said, I'm sorry, Carolina Panthers fans, but I don't see the Panthers making the playoffs. I think that, it's just gonna be a rebound year because they're gonna have to find their way on offense again, and still got a defense that can reckon with anyone. And my God, I'm gonna go with Schmitty McGee and the 6'27" receivers of Tampa Bay squeaking in a playoff spot. And I think they might do some damage in the playoffs. How much damage do I think they're going to do? We'll find out in a second here. I'm sorry, Panthers fans. I'm sorry, 8 Camel's Toes just put his fist through his monitor going, he's burned a picture of me in effigy. And, I'm sorry, buddy. Anyways, the number 1 and 2 seeds for the NFC, I have as the Saints and Packers. I think the Saints are going to finish with the best record in the NFC this year. Packers a close second. They're going to get the byes in the first round. As for the AFC, look for the Colts and the Patriots. I think the Patriots always get a bye. Why should this year be any different? Their division is as soft as ever. With the wild card matchups being in the AFC, Chargers at Broncos, Bengals at Jacksonville. Wild card in the NFC, 49ers at Philadelphia. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, I like the sound of that. And the Seahawks at the Buccaneers. Boy. Broncos fans and Manning fans, Peyton Manning fans. There's a time where every quarterback hits a wall, and this is going to be the year that Peyton Manning hits a wall, and he's going to get bounced out of the first round again by the Chargers. I'm sorry. I'm just going to cut right to it. I'm not even going to butter it up, raise the tension or anything. I see the Broncos getting bounced out in the first round by the Chargers. Bengals at Jacksonville. Man, when I saw this, I was like, my God, is Jacksonville not only going to make the playoffs, but win a playoff game? No. I think the gingerbread man and the Bengals, Andy Dalton's going to win a playoff game. You believe that? You believe someone is saying that? I'm saying it. Andy Dalton is going to win a playoff game. Holy shit. Throw some confetti in the air, Cincinnati. 49ers at Philadelphia. I'll tell you what, let's hold off on that because I want to go to the Seahawks versus Buccaneers. Seahawks at Buccaneers. Like I said, the penalties that are being thrown in the preseason, I have a gut feeling they're going to carry over into the regular season. And again, if you're not even allowed to sneeze in the direction of a receiver, I don't see how that Seahawks secondary is going to shut down the 6'27" average receivers that Tampa Bay has right now. Josh McCown, a.k.a. Schmitty McGee, is good enough to target open receivers. He's a solid deep threat quarterback, especially with deep threat receivers. I'm sorry, Seattle. I just don't think it's in the cards this year. You're not going to see great success. You're not going to repeat as Super Bowl champs. Or are you? Because guess what? You're going to go down and you're going to win in Tampa. Oh, God, I love teasing you Seahawks fans. Oh, my God. Anyway, Seahawks over the Buccaneers. So that brings us to the 49ers at Philadelphia. 49ers are just a foe. They can beat anyone, but they got to be playing on the right day. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Chip Kelly and the Eagles are beating the 49ers when they come into the link. It's going to be a cold ass day, and you know what? The Eagles are going to be, you know what? We're done fucking dicking around. We're done being a one and done type team in the playoffs. We're getting ourselves a playoff win. First playoff win since fucking McNabb was here. Jesus Christ, it's been that fucking long. I have some teams they're like, oh, we haven't won a playoff game in 6,000 years. But anyway, I honestly see that Eagles offense just completely outpacing the 49ers offense. I see it being a high-scoring game, but I see the Eagles coming out on top. You think about that, 49ers fans? Besides the burp, the game, what do you think about that? Anyway, so, oh my God. Divisional games, my God, these are some good matchups. The Chargers at Patriots and the Bengals at Colts in the AFC. Divisional round matchup in the NFC. Philly at the Packers. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Oh, I like the sound of that! And the Seahawks at the Saints. Go with the AFC first. Chargers at Patriots. I'm sorry, New England, but the Chargers have been known to be a thorn in your side, and I see the Chargers winning this game. I just see the Chargers being more battle-tested from a tougher division and, frankly, what I feel is a tougher schedule despite the Patriots having a first-place schedule. People may laugh at that, but I think just the divisional opponents alone make the Chargers a tougher schedule. And I just see Tom Brady just not having anything left. Much like with Peyton Manning, they're both just going to just tap out. They're going to just not win a playoff game this year. Just see both of them reaching the end of their NFL career. It happens to everyone. It happened to the great Joe Montana as well. Come on. So, I see the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. My God, am I smoking crack? The Bengals at the Colts. Holy shit, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton? Are you in a divisional game here? Do you have a chance of going to the AFC Championship? Let me check here. Oh, you do have a chance. But the Colts are going to win because you're going into Indianapolis, and Andrew Luck, he might throw 3 to 5 interceptions in this game, but man, I've never seen a guy get such success with such errant passes thrown. And I can't bet against him, against a team that just has just such bad luck in the playoffs. I'm sorry. So we got the Chargers at the Colts for the AFC Championship game. Woo-hoo-hoo. Seahawks at Saints. I got the Saints going to the NFC Championship game. I'm sorry, Seattle. I know. I hate you. I'm unfair to you and all this other stuff, but Saints shored up that secondary with a big free agent signing and I can't go against Graham and Breeze. I can't go against Graham and Breeze. My God. It's a tough game to pick, but I got the Saints going to the NFC Championship game. to face the winner of the Philadelphia at Green Bay game. I'm sorry, Eagles, but the run is over. I see the Packers winning at Lambeau. Realistically, when I think about it, I see Clinton Dix shoring up that secondary. I see that being the pick that the Eagles should have gone after. But of course, the Packers ended up picking them right before us, and I can't bet against Lacy and Rodgers. I can't. Like, all realistically, all fanboy blinders for my team off, I can't pick them. I'm sorry. I mean, I can't pick against them. I'm sorry. I see the Eagles losing at Lambeau. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Eagles fans. But it's not this year. It's just not this year. I don't have that vibe that is this year. My God, I hope beyond hopes that it is. But, sorry. So, we have the Packers at the Saints in the NFC Championship game. Who do I have coming out of the AFC Championship game from the Chargers versus the Colts? I have a guy who's never made the Super Bowl before. A quarterback who's never made the Super Bowl before. I know a lot of you are saying, well, neither quarterback has made the Super Bowl before. I know. I'm just teasing you. Andrew Luck. Would you please have a seat right over there? Because we need to interview you because you're going to the Super Bowl. I got the Colts in the Super Bowl. My God, am I insane? I have the Colts going to the Super Bowl to face someone who's been there before, someone who's won the Super Bowl before. You can't bet against someone who's been to the Super Bowl, been to the big dance, and won the game before. And I know you guys are saying, well, both Breeze and Rodgers have been to the Super Bowl and won. I know, I'm teasing you again. There's the picks right there. You see it? You see it? It's right there. It's right there. I have the Packers going into New Orleans to face the Saints. Going to play a very hard-fought game. And the Saints will go marching right on through to the golf course because the Packers are going to the Super Bowl. I have the Packers and the Colts going to the Super Bowl. A nice, fresh matchup. One that I don't think we've seen since, like, the 1960s. I'm trying to think who the... Anyways, who cares? Packers and Colts in the Super Bowl. My God, am I smoking Mr. White's blue meth again? Probably. So, who do I have winning the Super Bowl? That's a very good question. One that I'm going to answer for you next week in my Super Bowl Ultimate Predictions video. Have a good day, everyone. Oh, I'm just kidding. The Packers are going to win. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers, discount double check, two-time NFL champion, second ring on his finger. Go Pack go. Fuck them. I want it to be the Eagles. Fuck the Dallas Cowboys. Have a good day, everyone.